Ready?
Are you ready? Because ready or not. Good. Hump Day.
Wednesday. And happy noon o'clock. Okay, you guys, today we're going to be talking about this thing called commitment. Everybody says that they want to achieve XYZ. But the question is, are you committed enough to achieve XYZ? We live in a society where everybody wants to drop 10 pounds. I would say 99.9% of the world, if we were to do a survey and ask them, would you want to lose 10 pounds? They'd probably say yes. Now, why haven't they done that? And the question and the reality is that most people are not committed.
I need to teach you how to build up to the thing.
Okay.
So when we were about to start this, Sarit's like, okay, I'm going to give it to you right now. 3 signs of commitment. I was like, who wants to watch that? And I was like, how to know you want something bad enough. And you're like, oh, how do I know I want something bad enough? And so then you have to build up to it. How do you know you want something? This is an educational lesson for Sarit. To get you guys on the edge of your seat, right? How do you know you want something really bad? And then what would be an example of that?
Like a sign?
What would be like a very easy to understand, relatable example of, like when the newest iPhones were coming out and like everybody was getting them. How do you know you want it bad enough? Like people are willing to stand in a fucking line
at 4 a.m.
for 6 hours to give somebody money for a thing that you're gonna break and get a new one later.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know you want. But what are the components of that?
Yeah.
Why do we do that? It sounds so illogical. But when you want something bad enough, logic is not a thing. We do not use logic. Logic and emotion, both are necessary. But when you want something so bad, you will die for it, you do not use logic. Because you don't care. Like, I'm going to get the thing. I'm going to achieve the thing. I'm going to get this outcome. But what does that take? See how I built that up?
Okay, so
what does that take? How do we do that? How do we know? We're motherfucking committed. What does it mean to be committed? See that? Do you see what I did there?
Okay, dictionary time.
Do you see what I did there? See how I built it up? You guys.
How do you define committed?
Okay, let's look it up.
How would you define it?
Commitment. What is a commitment?
The state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, activity.
Dedicated. What does it mean to be dedicated? To devote to a task or purpose, having single-minded loyalty or integrity. Single-minded meaning there are no other options. What does it mean to be devoted? We're going to run back into one of these definitions. Giving over to the display, study, or discussion of, there's got to be more here. Giving all or large part of one's time or resources to. Giving all or a large part of one's time or resources. Time is a resource, Merriam-Webster. All or a large part of resources to the thing. Single-minded. Devoted.
Yeah.
Committed. No looking back.
Yeah. So, like how do you know that you're committed? Very few people in life are committed. That's why very few people in life achieve whatever they actually want. And our intention is to help you become committed. Now, here's the thing, we can do our parts all day and teach and preach, but you're going to have to be the one who's putting in the work.
By the way, I think that we're more clear today. And it's because I did not go live on the Facebook group. I only did it on 2 channels, not 3. So I'm thinking that that's the thing. Anyways, go on, proceed.
So let's talk about that. For example, we are extremely committed to the show. No matter what, regardless of what we have in our calendar, we still make it a point to show up, no matter how many things we have going on.
Well, that's not true.
What?
If we're traveling or somewhere.
Well, but we are committed to creating a schedule.
We're committed to you guys as a whole in whatever way we can show up for you that is going to help make a transformation in your life. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that certain episodes will not be canceled. For example, tomorrow's episode will be canceled because we're going to be in another podcast.
But there's certain things that happen that take priority over this because why? Because we have many other ways to be able to help you. And really at the end of the day, it's how can we help you?
Yeah. So, like going back to what you were doing, like before we started this, like we were going back and forth on trying to figure out ways of, like how can we reduce the whatever has been going on this platform from freezing on you guys or from not sounding well so that you can have the best experience ever. Now, we know that we don't have all the answers, but when you're committed, you're willing to do whatever it takes in order to figure something out. And now this is important because too many people want to know all the things before starting to do something. However, when you're committed, you don't even need to know anything. You just need to make it a point to keep on moving forward.
You don't need logic.
No.
You don't need logic. You're like, I don't know, but I don't care because I'm committed. I'm going to figure it out. Commit now. If you commit, you will figure it out.
Yeah.
You have no choice because you've committed. So you literally put your back into a corner. The problem is that way too many people are scared to put their back in a corner because they aren't committed. And they won't take the necessary action to learn the things or develop the skills or meet the people or whatever things need to happen for them to get from where they are to where they want to be. But when you commit, you're like, I don't know all the steps in between. And newsflash, you never will until you start. You never know how to do what you've never done because you've never done it. And until you start getting your ass in motion, you will never know. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what anybody tells you they've experienced. They can tell you, you can take those notes. Okay, cool. But you will never actually fully understand until you start taking action. And you won't until you are committed. That's how you know you're committed. You're like, because it don't matter. I'm going to do it anyways. You told me I can't. Doesn't matter. I believe there's a way and I'm going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Back to what you were saying, when you're not committed, you're going to try to justify your reasoning for not doing it. Nina, I'm really happy to hear that this is speaking to your soul today, right? Like you're talking about getting ready. Let's say, like if you're not actually committed to your run, you're going to try to justify why you're stalling. Oh, I have to get ready. Oh, I'm waiting for this new pair of laces to come because my shoes always keep on getting untangled. Oh, it's raining outside. Oh, this, oh, that. So, like.
There's always a solution when you're committed. There's always a solution to the problem when you're committed because you never settle for the first objection. You never settle for the second one. You never settle for the third one. All of these happen within you. I can't go running because my shoelaces get all funky. Who gives a shit? Take the shoelaces out and just go fucking run with no shoelaces. Maybe you won't run as fast, but you've dedicated yourself to running. You are devoted. You're going to do it. You're committed. Go put on your slippers. Run in your slippers. Go run with no shoes on. Oh, but the pavement. I don't know. Find some grass. Put some socks on. Where there is a will, there is a way. Oh, I can't because it's raining. Go to a gym and run on a treadmill. The gyms are closed and I can't run while I wear a mask and they make me do that thing, so I can't do it. Okay, go find a big set of trees where you can run under and not get rained on. Go run naked. It doesn't matter. You didn't get any of your clothes wet. You just go run right into the shower. There's never anything that will get in your way when you are committed. You're like, I'm not going to take that excuse. I'm not going to take that excuse. I'm not going to take that. Well, fuck, I got to find a way around this thing too. Well, I didn't plan on that happening, but you get creative.
Yep. When you are not fully committed, you are going to continue negotiating with yourself. And this happens subconsciously. Most people don't even realize the fact that they're negotiating with themselves as to why they're staying in their comfort zone or getting themselves back to their comfort zone because they're not actually committed. Every time you need to do something and you say to yourself, but, or you start stalling, ask yourself why. Like, bring the subconscious thought into your consciousness so that you can be real with yourself and ask yourself, okay, does that mean that I'm actually committed, or is that me making an excuse?
With commitment
comes creativity.
There's a great question in here. Hi, Stacy. Okay. I'm gonna get to Stacy. I think Stacy has a good question too. But where did this one? Oh wow,
Sarah Morris?
It went way up. No, I think it's way. Oh, never mind. It's the one with the kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sarah
yes,
Morris.
Sarah. Okay, I'm committed to raising my kids. How do I quit using them as an excuse to not be committed to daily exercise?
This is so good.
It's a great question. And look, I'm not a parent. Sarit's not a parent. This is not an attempt to tell you how to parent. But what I do know is any parent is a leader over their children. So how are you leading your children? Would be one question that I would consider. I don't know the answer to that. But I imagine myself being a parent, and I haven't been yet. So you only know when you've actually done it. But I imagine myself being a parent, and I'll ask myself, if my kids need me to take them to here and, feed them, and, they're dependent. They need you for stuff, right? And you take that responsibility on. I'm going to do my best to get my child involved in, if they're old enough, get them involved in the activity that I'm doing, make it fun for them so they want to be included in on the new changes that I'm making. You can always get, if it's a matter of, they are completely dependent, meaning like can't do anything for themselves, can't feed themselves, can't change their self out of their own doo-doo, then, you can get somebody else to watch them and take care of them for an hour while you go do your workout. You can, I would love to hear from the parents, what do you do? Who's a parent? Who are the parents in our community that have done a good job at this?
Mel O'Connor.
Mel O'Connor. Brittany Burns is a mom, I believe. Actually, I don't know if she is. Who's in here right now? So Stacy's a mom. Stacy, what do you do?
So here's the thing. Like Erin said, Nina is a mom too.
Nina's a mom.
Nina, quit stalling. Get to that run though.
Beth is a mom.
So listen. We're not parents, and this is no parenting advice, as we're not parents yet. However, looking into the future, I can only imagine that depending on the stage of growth that your child is in, it's going to look differently. However, one thing is for sure, to the degree that you are able to take care of yourself, you will able to take care of others. And that is why no matter how many kids you have, you need to make it your duty and obligation that you take care of you. Okay. So now, considering the fact that we're not parents, I don't know what it's like to have a baby in my house. That's mine. But here's what I know, that when I'm a parent, I'm going to make it a point to do whatever I need to do before anybody's day start to take care of me.
Mm-hmm. So before they even wake up.
So then here's the thing, I can only imagine that a toddler may just cry because they may hear something. Now, this is why having a supportive partner is really important. I can imagine that, you know, when Erin and I become moms, right? Like the baby may cry at any point in the night. We're going to take turns as to who's going to work out when in the morning to make sure that if the baby needs to be attended to, the baby is going to be taken care of. You know, when the kids grow a little bit older, like Erin said, you can get someone to watch them. Or you can stick to the same thing. Like you can take turns.
Look, I want to point out some really important things. Mom of two, I take a break at work, had to make it non-negotiable. It's not convenient. It's not convenient. It's not convenient. It is not convenient. It is not convenient. That is the most powerful part of this whole thing. Thank you, Lauren. Look at the other one. I wake up at 4:45 before my son has school. It's not convenient, but convenience is not a part of commitment. Commitment says, fuck you, convenient.
Greatness was not meant to be convenient. Everybody is looking to find success with convenience. But here's the real truth. It's not going to be convenient. It's not. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was in Israel, every morning, I still wasn't used to the hours because they were 7 hours ahead. You know, because of COVID, I was on a 7-day quarantine. No matter what, I made it a point to get a workout in each and every day, regardless of how much I lacked sleep. Which is, by the way, like ideally I want to get my sleep in, but your hours are messed up and you're not going to get a workout, and you're in a compromised state. Now you're really putting yourself into like a disastrous state. You know, wasn't necessarily allowed to leave the house. And if I was to take my phone with me, I was going to be tracked. Not sorry about doing whatever it takes anyway. Went without my phone. Had to leave the house.
You're not logical.
Had to do it.
You're going to be outside, not around anybody. Who cares? Go run. What would you do though? Oh my gosh, if you were stuck in a house. Everybody experienced this. This is how the Rise Above 14-day workout program was born.
Yep.
From the original March 2020 14-day quarantine. The Rise Above was born because why? We were all literally told, stay in your house, don't leave. Mm-hmm. So what the heck do you do? With commitment
comes creativity.
Run in circles around your couch. It doesn't matter. Movement is movement. So if you need to pick up your baby and do squats with it, they'll probably enjoy the shit out of it. So you're like 2 shits, 1 bag, if you didn't hear that reference already this week.
But here's also why we created the Rise Above program, because if you're being real with yourself about it, you would know that 30 squats with a baby is not considered a workout. Just being honest. It's better than being sedentary, and that's why we created it.
But that's not the end of it. That's not the end of it.
Okay.
You don't just pick up your baby and do some squats and be like, I got my workout in for the day.
But a lot of people say that, oh, at least I got my 10,000 steps. That's how my mom justifies doing movement every day. I'm like,
10,000 steps is better than nothing. At least she's focused on something.
Yes, true. But don't call that a workout.
Well, here's the deal. Define workout. Yes, ma'am.
And I do agree that it all depends on where you're at in your journey. But
exactly.
for somebody like me, shame on me to justify why my 10,000 steps is my workout of the day. It's not.
Why is it?
Because the stimulus is not going to create the response in my body that it needs. For somebody who is extremely out of shape, let's say maybe they walked 500 steps for the past 10 years, yeah, 10,000 steps is a workout. So yes, please take it with a grain of salt. Like for everybody, all these things are going to look different. But I'm talking to those who are like more advanced, who've been at it for a minute. Like,
but the people who struggle the most, I would argue, are not more advanced. The more advanced people already have created the discipline and understand what we're talking about. The people who need this the most, though everybody can resonate, the people who need this the most are the people who would use the excuse of, I'm just going to sit on my couch and eat fucking hot Cheetos.
True. And
I'm not targeting you, Nicole.
And if we're being really honest,
I don't know why hot Cheetos is the thing I just think about. Oreos.
If we're being really
vanilla
honest,
wafers.
Nobody who's not committed will want to listen to this discussion because it will probably offend them from the start.
But you could struggle with it.
Could be open-minded.
But you could struggle with commitment or not realize that you're not committed. So you think you are. So you want to watch inspirational things and motivational things. And, oh, these girls, they're motivational. So I'm going to watch it. And then they're like, oh, how many times have you guys felt like you've been slapped in the face by something you've heard us say? It's like, right? Like a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Like, shit, it's me. And I didn't even realize it. I came here to be inspired and they told me that I'm not committed. Okay, but I want to go back to this workout thing. I'm playing the devil's advocate.
Yeah, of course.
Makes it entertaining. Okay, workout. A session of vigorous physical exercise or training. So Sarit would say, vigorous. Let's look up vigorous. Strong health, okay, characterized by or involving physical strength, effort, or energy.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Effort is different for everyone.
True, and that's why, like I said, it all depends on where you're at in your journey. If you're completely out of shape, 10,000 steps will require a lot of effort. I will tell you that for me, it's not going to do anything. And I'm just being real with myself. So,
Sarah, are you doing the TKC, the Transformation Kickstart Challenge? I really hope you are. If not, Danny, can you drop the link?
Yeah, all of you guys do the Transformation Kickstarter Challenge.
I'm really happy that you're here and asking, and I hope that's really helpful.
But so, going back to the story in Israel, one of the days when I was done with my run, my mom was like, he's like, you know what? Like, you're so disciplined. I'm like, I know. And then she's like, so many people at the wedding were saying that you were, like you have such an incredible body. And this is really not to toot my horn, you guys, or anything. But the reason why I'm saying it is because people in Israel, like, they want to get in shape. It's literally the entire country is like that. And yes, I'm generalizing. Not every particular person is like that, but for the most part. Okay, like you've seen it too. Like people, everybody there wants to get in shape, but nobody wants to work out. You gotta do what you gotta do in order to get it done. So let's go to the 3 signs that you're committed.
Ooh, now we're getting to the juicy stuff. By the way, if you had registered for the TKC and there was a link that wasn't working somewhere, check your emails because there should be more stuff coming that gives you the correct links, or you can just try again with the same email address. Because there was something broken and I fixed it. I had it fixed. And
because you're committed.
Because I'm committed. I had to figure it out. There's thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, hopefully, that are going to need our help. I had to fix that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So try again if you're committed. See what I did there?
Yeah. And if you want to learn how to be more committed, or you're struggling with commitment, then that will help you too.
By the way, is anybody else new here? I've seen some new names. Sarah Morris, I've seen you this week. Heather.
Yeah, Brandy, way to get your sister to sign up.
That's awesome. And Nancy got a coworker.
Nice, Nancy. Nancy, get your entire store to do it.
It would be coming from the reply email address is admin@aaronandsarit.com. Yeah.
So let's get to it, you guys. You know that you're committed when you're going to show up no matter what. No matter what. If you're not committed, like we said, when things become inconvenient, the easier thing to do, the more logical thing to do is to talk yourself out of it, to negotiate with yourself. Most people do it, they don't even realize it. Oh, I'm so tired.
There goes Boogie. Yep.
I'm gonna go get him. My bladder.
Moment of silence. A moment of silence. 7 is this? 7, 9, 5, 3, 1, 7. Oh,
Boogie's clearly not happy about the rain. It just started raining and he's not happy about it, in case you're wondering. So yeah, regardless of how inconvenient the situation is, if it is, you're going to show up no matter what. The reason why most people quit on their dreams is because they show up until things become inconvenient. Until things become complicated. Exactly. You need to know all the right answers. You just need to show up no matter what. Because if you're committed, you're going to find the right people at the right time who have the answers that you need, by the way. So Sarah Morris, if you're new to this community, welcome. And it's no accident. I truly believe that it's, you know, from the universe. You're ready. You're ready to kick it up to another gear.
Keep asking questions. Keep showing up. The best thing you can do if you're new in this community is to show up, is to post on the Facebook group, is to ask questions, is to share your wins, share your struggles, ask your questions, talk with people, make friends. That is how you will have the most success.
The reason why people fall off is because they start seeing progress and they stop acting like they did on day one.
Or they go into hiding if one little thing goes wrong. Don't go hiding.
So my next point, you show up when things are uncomfortable. Let's say you messed up. It's bound to happen.
Oh, you show up in waves. Is that what you mean? Like,
yeah, you show up only when things are comfortable. Like January 1st, everybody is great at showing up.
Oh, yeah.
But we're talking about September 30th. How many people are still showing up? Right? So regardless of how uncomfortable something is, you're still going to show up because you're committed. Let's say you had more things added on your plate, still going to show up. Let's say you had a fire to put out, still going to show up. Let's say you messed up, still going to show up. how many of you guys, and by the way, if I ask these questions, it's because I've done it myself. How many of you guys, let's say you ate something that you knew you shouldn't have, and then you decided to take anywhere from a 1 week to 1 month hiatus, simply because your ego was hurt about the fact that your action was not ideal? It's uncomfortable to face reality when you haven't showed up in the way that you had expected yourself to do. And that's why most people fall off. Because it's uncomfortable to, let's say Saturday night, right? Like, let's say you had pizza, and then you had a bottle of wine, you followed it up with a tray of brownies. You woke up on Sunday feeling like shit because of the sugar, the alcohol, the extra food, whatever.
What's the first thought you have when you're in that moment?
You're like, I don't know if I want to get up. Let me sleep it off. Let me sleep off my anxiety. That's what I did.
So the first thing that I think about in that moment is, well, today's going to be a fun day because I'm going to start on Monday. Like, subconsciously,
I think it depends on the stage that you're in.
So first I feel like shit. First I would feel like shit. I've been through this cycle like more times than I could count, right? This is why I struggled so hard. So Friday night, Saturday, or whatever it is, okay, you're like, if it's like Saturday, especially, because it's like there's one more day of the weekend, and you're like, Monday's a fresh start. So when you wake up on Sunday, you're like, I feel like shit, shouldn't have done that, guilty, then go work out. But all the while I'm thinking like, I'm going to start on Monday. So like, who cares about today? And then like the not caring about like, it is some kind of like a refreshing kind of thought, because there is no like, because it's easy to do the thing that sets you backwards. I was thinking about this morning. What was the actual thing that I said? It's easier to go downhill. Oh, yes. What was I thinking about? It's easier to go downhill than it is to go uphill. It's easier to like fall down the mountain than it is to climb up the mountain. So you have to keep yourself in check. It's easier, I would choose, so Saturday, you're like, it's easier to just keep falling down than it is to pick your shit up and start climbing up the mountain. Mm-hmm. So I'd always wait till Monday. That was like the first thought that would go through my head. Ooh, what am I going to eat today? Because I'm starting on Monday.
Yeah, because it's Sunday, and after you shot the bed on Saturday, waking up on Sunday and getting back on track is uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because technically you have another day without a routine.
And it's the weekend. I don't want to choose uncomfortable. Come on. Sunday, fun day. My friends are doing the stuff. I don't want to care. It's easier to fall down. You're just a big, massive human snowball just by the time you start. You can pick up speed both ways, Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people, when they start their weight loss journey and they listen about what we say, they have a hard time with it, because it's uncomfortable to go against the grain, because their entire life they've operated in a different way. But for any of you guys who are listening who have followed that path, how helpful has it been? Drop it in the comments. It's uncomfortable to think differently, especially if you haven't exposed to that way of thinking before. By the way, if you haven't yet signed up for the TKC, make sure to do so, because we're going to expose you to a new way of thinking.
Why do salmon swim upstream? What's their mission in that? What are they trying to accomplish? Does anybody know? There's a reason they do it.
Not a salmon expert.
You're not a salmon doctor? You eat it all the time. I'm going to look at Google. Why do salmon swim upstream. Looks like somebody searched it before. Salmon and other fish swim upstream because they must, in caps, because they are in bold, because they must make the journey for reproductive purposes.
Do or die.
Salmon and a number of other fish, including whatever kind, and rainbow trout, follow a similar scent that leads them back to the location of their birth. This is where the circle of life begins and ends for each species. That is their purpose, is to reproduce, right?
When your life depends on it,
their purpose,
you're gonna do whatever it takes. That's the reality of it.
And you risk getting eaten by a bear.
It takes you more time, more energy, more effort.
All of your resources go into doing the thing that you need to do to accomplish the mission you've set out for.
Mm-hmm.
Swimming upstream is hard, but necessary when you have a purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so let's get to point number 3.
Tanya's so smart. Isn't it something to do with reproduction? Yes, ma'am. Okay, number 3.
Tanya, I hope your first day of school was great. Number 3, you make room for what matters. What matters to the salmon is continuing their lineage. Therefore, they make it a point to swim upstream. If something matters to you, you're going to do whatever it takes. So those were the 3 points. You show up no matter what. You show up when it's uncomfortable. And you make room for what matters.
Okay, I want to help real quick. Heather, I'm not sure what your goals are. And you say your struggle is getting in enough protein, calories, being a vegetarian. I'm not sure if that's your main struggle, but I also don't know what your goals are or where you're currently at or where you've been or what you've tried and how long your goals have been goals. And I would love to know. But, you know, if you're doing the TKC, you're going to find out if that's really your main problem or not. Oftentimes what we think our main problem is has nothing to do with our main problem. And that might not make sense right now in this moment if you haven't done any of our programs or utilized any of our services, but do the TKC because you will find out, you will discover really what are your major problems that are holding you back from achieving what you deserve. That's it for the show today.
That's it for the show today, you guys.
If you got value from today, if you enjoy hearing from us, we say this all the time, please share with somebody else. Why? Not for us, for them. And because the more you share, the more ability is there for other people to share. That was a weird sentence that just came out of my mouth. Also, go to our YouTube channel. Hey, Danny, can you post a link to our YouTube channel? I need you all to subscribe to that. The more people who subscribe to that channel, the more people YouTube shows our videos to. That could potentially like it because they've watched something else similar or along the same lines. So by you subscribing, by you sharing, you are part of the army and you are helping the mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours. So thank you. That's it.
We hope that you enjoyed today's episode. And also the TKC is coming up on September 20th. So if you haven't already signed up, make sure to do so. ImproveYourSolutions.com/TKC. Also, get your loved ones involved too. The more people who are in your life that are acting, thinking the same way as you are, guess what? The easier it's going to be committed when shit gets hard, because shit gets hard for everybody.
If you can take your whole surroundings and you can create, like eliminate as much resistance that you have in that environment as possible, people, things. Look, you clean out your fridge and you don't have any bad food in your house. You've eliminated resistance from getting to your goals. From you to your goal, there's some kind of resistance. What is it? It might be people. It might be thoughts. It might be food. It might be something. This is also stuff we go over in the TKC. It's amazing. But if you can align all those things so that they work for you and they're on the same page with you, then you're eliminating resistance and it's not as difficult to get to your goal. Create those surroundings for yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right, you guys, we'll catch you on the flip side. We will catch you on Friday. Friday's guest interview day. Tomorrow we will be on.
Maybe they can join Ken's podcast. Is it live or no?
It's not live.
Okay, not live. JK. We'll send it to you guys when it comes out.
Yep.
For
All right,
now,
you guys, we'll see you on Friday.
have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.